Red Dragon Archfiend is a fan favourite card of a fan favourite character, and thanks to the new Resonator cards, a new strong skill, and the addition of Hot Red Abyss, the deck is now a genuine contender. I actually think it's currently quite underrated, since not everybody is aware that you can make an end board that looks like this. I will explain how you can do that, in addition to some other gameplay bits, and talk about the deck a bit. This is the second of the new decks that I'm covering. If you are trying to become a pro at the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, I'm now on Metafy, where there is a bunch of exclusive content to help you become a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG player. I'm also in these other places if you want to come and say hi, or ask any particular questions. There is now also a second channel for my non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, and there is a VOD channel for all of the livestream stuff that I do. And to get notified on YouTube videos here, consider pressing the big red button and drop a comment down below. But with no further ado, enjoy! Red Rain is a card that you will see in many builds of this deck, but I'm not a big fan of it. I recognise that the card is strong going first, but I think the card does not guarantee victory going first, and the end board that I'm already making is already really good. One card that I would highly recommend though is Tuning Gum. This card protects your Red Rising from Veiler, makes playing into certain interruptions easier, and makes your board better into stuff like Mind Control. If you draw it, you can just discard it for Bone or the skill. One effect is to spawn a Red Dragon Archfiend monster, and the other is to spawn Fiendish Chain. To avoid losing too many cards in follow-up, you want to not use the effect that spawns RDA, unless you're doing the full Void Ogre combo. That I will show to you in a moment. As long as you don't go too high in deck count, you don't have to play free Soul Resonator, since we have free Call and free Gaia to search for Soul anyway. And if you already draw Bone with Soul, you can use Soul to search for Meister. In certain matchups, this is a nice hand trap, and if you draw it, it is worst case level 4. You don't need more than one Crimson, but if you want to do the Void Ogre combo more often, you could play more. Red is nice to have when you already have access to Vision, and Vision searches everything we need. Both Vision and Gaia can search for Scarlet Security, which is effectively a boneless Harpy Feather Duster. It's also worth mentioning that the search effect of Gaia isn't the only good effect, because the other two effects make RDA a genuine scary card. A common question I was asked on livestream is how do we beat Assembled Nightingale? And the answer to that is we use the Gaia to flip both the Nightingale and Robin face down, attack into Robin with RDA, and then RDA will destroy the face-down Nightingale. It can be hard to play into the Robin, but it becomes easier if you play Tuning Gum. Playing 2 of each of the traps is nice, since a lot of the combos that I do plan on ending on 3 traps. We play all the good red dragons. The Void Ogre play uses 2 Red Rising, and having a second one is generally good for recovery. There's currently nothing here that I would replace for Dark End. Today's gameplay will show you the 2-card combo for Void Ogre, the standard 1-card combo, and then a game-going second. This demonstration of the Void Ogre combo is against an NPC, but to be fair, everyone we faced on stream did immediately scoop after this combo anyway. So the way it starts looks a bit weird, because you need Crimson Resonator plus to hard draw the Bone Archfiend. Because we don't actually use the effect of Bone to summon itself, we instead just normal summon Bone and synchro off into the Rising, to then Rising bring back the Crimson, and then Crimson gets us into the Soul, which we normally would normal summon, and then the Soul gets us into the Synchron Resonator. Void Ogre up here, Vision effects, grab the trap. So the way this combo ends up is if you hard open either Gaia or one of the traps, you end on 3 back row plus Void Ogre plus the Abyss plus the Nova. So we use Bone there to send Tuning Gum because we already have access to the Crimson. This means our end board is super well protected, because not only do we have the free back row, but we also have Tuning Gum and Soul Engrave to protect from targeting and destruction. In addition to, of course, the double negate on the field as well. So this will end up with a Fiendish Chain, 2 Banishing Traps, a Target Negate, a Destruction Negate, a Negate for Anything, and a Spell Trap Negate from Void Ogre. And there we go, that is the turn 1 combo. Not many decks are beating that very easily, and I think it's a really strong combo that people aren't really aware of, and it's really good. The next combo is against a real person, and this will be the more normal 1-card combo. So this one is against Predaplant, and this is the demonstration of the 1-card combo with Soul, and how you can adapt this combo if you draw other engine cards with it. Because, for example, here, we hard drew the Bone Archfiend, as you'll see in a moment. Yeah, we hard drew the Bone Archfiend, so therefore we don't have to search for the Bone Archfiend. We can instead search for Skullmeister or for Tuning Gum. And I choose here to grab the Tuning Gum. So go Pitch Summon, effect, get access to Crimson. You can also do it the other way around, where you go Soul, search Crimson, and then Bone send Tuning Gum. It doesn't really make a huge difference. Then we go Rising, bring back Crimson. So this is the combo if you were to just go normal summon Soul, add the Bone to hand, and then Bone discard something. Search for Crimson Gaia. So what differs here is that if you open only 1 trap, then you want to be searching a Fiendish Golem here with Vision, because then that way you can end on 3 traps, because you grab Golem off of the Vision, and you set Fiendish Chain with the skill, and then you set the last trap from your hand. The difference here is we opened up 2 traps, so therefore we're going to be searching Crimson Gaia to keep in our hand for our follow-up on turn 3. I back Vision to then summon and Synchro. This makes the red Nova. Then skill set Fiendish Chain, set 2 more, and pass. So that is the normal 1-card combo. So just Soul grabbing Bone Archfiend ends on Abyss, Nova, and 2 traps. And then, as we mentioned, if you open up like a Crimson Gaia or an extra trap, then you end on 3 back row. And we have pretty good follow-up as well, because of the Bone Archfiend in the graveyard. Since on our next turn we can go like Reborn the Bone Archfiend send Vision, and then Vision add Soul and do things like that. And that's assuming if we don't have the Crimson Gaia. So even if you end on, say, 3 traps and no Crimson Gaia in hand, you can just get a full board by going Bone on the next turn to go into Vision into Crimson Gaia. And I chose not to use the Abyss on the Poly here, because I'd rather just let them fuse off into Ambulance and then Abyss that. And then, yeah, as you can see, there's not really much we can do into that board. And there we go, that is the example of the normal 1-card combo and how to adapt it if you open more engine cards. And for the third bit of gameplay, we're going to be showing a game going second. So this third and final gameplay is against pre-ban list Sound Great, with us going second. And what makes it quite nice going second is that we get an immediate Fiendish Chain. And that Fiendish Chain makes it quite easy to play into a lot of boards, because you not only can use that Fiendish Chain, as a semi-board breaker, but if you haven't used the skill yet, you can then send away Fiendish Chain if you wish. Although a lot of the time you will probably be using the skill going second to summon the RDA before you use the Fiendish Chain. And as we mentioned in the deck profile, I try to not use the skill to bring out RDA unless we are going for the full Void Ogre combo, because otherwise you don't really need to do it, and it's much better to hold it for your turn 3. The strong thing with this deck is that you don't really get OTK'd, because your board is so heavily protected by the traps and the monsters, so the more that you can hold for your turn 3, the better. I do try to end on triple trap though, because I don't want to lose to them having like an MST or some way to push through my back row. So we're going to end on both spells here. Both the one that summons from hand and links, and the one that reincarnation links. And we're going to start by doing the skill to set Fiendish Chain, then go Gaia into Soul, and then Soul into Bone. And we're going to use Bone to get that Tuning Gum in the graveyard. Gonna now link off. So we'll make the Pyrophoenix, then they're going to go ahead and bounce back the Soul to the hand. I think bouncing Bone is a bit better here, but I have plays either way with these two in hand because I haven't used the skill to bring out RDA yet. Speaking of, we now go skill into Scarred, flip up, special summon Vision, they go Transcendence, link off, they go Reincarnation link into another one, but we have Fiendish Chain, which means we can just carry on. They go DD Crow to remove Tuning Gum, which is a big tell that the last card in their hand is either a Veiler or a Mourner. But because I've worked out lethal through Veiler or Mourner, I still go into the Red Rising here. Red Rising effect, they go as we predicted, they go Mourner. Vision effect, grab a Golem in case we for some reason can't OTK. But as I said, we've worked out that we can OTK, so now we're going to go Synchro off into Hot Red Bane, Synchron effects, and back Vision for follow-up, Scarred effect, summon. This will force the Balings from grave. And now we have game. And there we go, that is an example of how to put on a lot of pressure with this deck going second, even into one of the strongest decks in the meta. Thank you for watching this video, hopefully you enjoyed and or found this video useful. There are more videos soon, so consider subscribing, and I will revisit decks like this that I have already played because I will enter tournaments with them and do some more optimized deck building and gameplay review. But yeah, thank you all, and adios.